Greetings, metal community. It's Roger back with another list. I bought more thrashy, speed metal, heavy metal stuff than I kind of realized, so why not make a list of it? Some pretty good albums here that you know I really enjoyed this year. I picked out 10. I have some more, but these kind of are the best that I have picked up. So playing in the background is Venus from Greece with the debut album Obscured Until Observed. This is a Greek two-piece program drums. It's the only thing I can fault with this album. Also kind of the clean vocals is a little bit boring sometimes, but overall it's not that it's bad, it's just sometimes it doesn't fit in my book, but yeah, very much a Vector-inspired project, I would say. So technical, progressive thrash metal. But as I said, I hope they get a proper drummer for the next album, because it's not bad drum or programming or anything. It's just it needs more, you know, drum work. It kind of yeah, it's just a little bit boring drumming on it, or a little static drumming on it. So but overall killer album. Glad I picked this up. It was kind of random popping up on, I don't know if it's Bandcamp or something, but yeah, killer album out on Extreme Music if you want to get a copy of it. I bought this from the band, I think, on their Bandcamp, and I can take the other CD that I have here. One killer album, Overkill Scorched. Yeah, I really enjoy this album. I think it's a killer newer Overkill album. I mean, they're not as good as back in the days, but every time I feel that Overkill should maybe stop making new music, they release a great album. So yeah, very pleased with this album as well. I mean, you guys know it, so I don't need to talk about it. Rest of the stuff is vinyl. There's one album here that's not thrash and speed metal, but or heavy metal, but I will get to that later. This is Trastorned from yeah, Chile. Into the Void, speed thrash metal, I would say. Out on Dying Victims production, so you get you know, stickers and posters and every good thing, postcards as well. I can try to get it out without dropping anything on the floor. Get a cool sticker and a postcard. Yeah, this is old school sounding thrash. It's pretty well done. It's not fantastic. The vocals are a little bit weird in the production, or kind of, yeah, it's a little bit unusual, I would say, but still a very cool cool vocals. But it's kind of a little bit strange for this music, but it works. And it's a great album. It's good, a lot of good thrash riffs here, and I guess most of you have seen this before. I mean, I've shown this before on my channel, but I've seen it on several other channels as well. And you know, coming out on Dying Victims, you get pretty good promotion. Another one of the Dying Victims this year was Violent Sin. From was these guys from Belgium, I think. They are labeled as you know, black and speed metal, but I kind of would say they are more speed / thrash metal. But I don't bother. This is a really cool cover as well. Yeah, poster, postcard, sticker, and this as well. Have these high pitch vocals and a little bit wild vocals, but you know, that's kind of just cool for this type of music, and should be like that when it's speed metal. As I said, I don't really know where the kind of black metal in this album should be, but yeah, whatever. Maybe the lyrics are a little bit evil, but yeah, really enjoyable speed thrash metal album for me. So yeah. Then Metal Church, I was very skeptical to this one. Yeah, Congregation of Annihilation out on Reaper Entertainment. But it turned out really well. I could have maybe wanted the vocals to be a little less restrained and the guitars a little bit higher in the mix. It's kind of a little bit weak guitar tone on it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it after I kind of got used to the vocals this album, and yeah, it turned out surprisingly well. I was, as I said, after Mike Howard passed away, I was kind of hoping that that would be the end of Metal Church, but yeah, it's a good album, and I mean, it's better than several of the other albums that Metal Church has released. It's not my kind of, maybe it would be a top 5, I don't know, I never ranked them. So next one is one that surprised me a lot. It's the new Sadus. I put it in this pile as number 6. And that's probably where I would put it. You know, it's kind of the right spot for it. Not as wild as and technical and progressive as back in the days, but it's still a very good technical thrash album. It's just a little bit more, yeah, compared to the earlier work, it's a more simplistic album, but that doesn't hurt it at all. I mean, I was really surprised, you know, that they managed to release a album of this quality after so many years. So yeah, it's a cool cover as well, and yeah, if you like old Sadus, I mean, do try this out, but it's not as kind of, as I said, wild and technical and maybe experimental, but it's a really good thrash album, and yeah, it's often kind of difficult when these old bands come back. Sometimes they make it and other times they don't, but yeah. Then we are going to Germany. This band is really fun. This is Crew Force with Dawn of the Axe. Again, heavy metal speed metal. I mean, they look a little bit evil, but yeah, fun videos. They look like they are, you know, from the 80s, sound like they're from the 80s, and yeah, I really enjoy this album as well. Another one with poster and everything. This is Shadow Kingdom records that I put out, but yeah, killer speed heavy metal, just awesome stuff, and go and check out their music videos because they are great fun. It says 2022 on the back cover here, but I guess that's just printed up too soon, but according to Metal Archives it was released in August 2023, so yeah. Another one that I was really looking forward to last year was Eternal Evil with their second album, The Gates Beyond Mortality. A little bit more blackened than the first album. I prefer the first album over this, but that album is an absolute banger of an album. As I said, Swedish guys, if I remember correctly, and young guys. The previous album was more kind of directly old school, evil thrash. This has this kind of, especially the vocals, a little bit more, in a way, blackened. I would say the music overall is pure thrash, evil thrash, you know, vicious thrash, but and a little bit more technical as well, you know. They're not as primitive and direct as they were on the first album, but still it's a killer album. But as I said, the first one is slightly better. This was a colored I don't know what you call this, smoky thing. But that was the only color it was released on, at least for now. So yeah, very happy to get a hold of a copy. Listen, records are a bit expensive here in Norway to get hold of, but yeah, great. I still call them thrash, but they are slightly turning a little bit to the black and thrash. But I hope they don't go any further towards black and thrash, because I prefer them to be, you know, pure thrash. I think they are best at that. Yeah, the next one, that was number 3 on this list. It's a different album. I didn't know where to put it. I could have put it on my death metal list, but this Tribunal with the weight of Remembrance. This is Metal Archives again, label it as Gothic Doom, but I don't know about that. Doom for sure. It's classic Doom, there's Death Doom, there's also some Funeral Doom tendencies here as well. The female vocals here are fantastic. She has kind of this classic Doom or cult Doom feel over her. She also plays cello, which is cool. Fits the music very well and gives it that kind of... I think maybe that's where they like the Gothic, and the male vocals is kind of... yeah, growly. First song is more blackened, but it has some kind of effect on the vocals that I really don't like. I think the male vocals here turns out a little bit weak because of it. It would be better to have just a normal, you know, roomy production on it. But there's some kind of effect, especially on the first song, where it's more blackened. That's not working at all, but great album, great songs. If you like Death Doom, classic Doom, go and check out this album. As I said, the guy growls, but there's a lot of the female vocals here, and she's singing. She has a great voice. And, yeah, just a album that I didn't think I would like after seeing the first video, but I'm glad I gambled on it and bought it, because this was one of the nice surprises last year. Then this is technically a cheat a little bit, but this is Shadows, again from Chile. Why this is a cheat is because half of this album was released as a EP back in 21 or something, 22 maybe. So it's kind of not all new stuff, but it's their first album, full length, just over 30 minutes long. This is heavy metal, and it is heavy metal musically. It's new wave of British heavy metal, and also, but especially the old songs here has more gritty vocals, a little bit more like. This is the band Apostasy, if you know those guys from, of course, Chile. The whole band, really. But the same guy who sings in Apostasy sings here. And on some of the songs, he kind of pulls in that vocal style, you know, more rough thrash vocals, which is very cool. Kind of takes, lifts this album a little bit. I would kind of put this album musically a little bit towards Summerlands and bands like that, but with better vocals overall. Some of the songs he is just like Summerlands, but more variation makes this album more interesting in my ears. And but it's a great album, very cool cover as well, and also got the t-shirts. I picked my copy up of Season of Mist, but it's Sentient Ruin. Sentient Ruin is sometimes difficult to get hold of in Norway as well, but Season of Mist do have them. So yeah, if you haven't heard this, go and check it out. This is great heavy metal, really have a old feel to it, and yeah, very happy with it. Kind of glad it's not a long album, because I think it would be boring, but it could have had a little bit more music on it, but just a great heavy metal album, and one that I played a lot. And yeah, my number one on this list is, well, of course, it's not of course that you have a Norwegian thrash metal album on the top, but Inculter, Morbid origin, very glossy cover. This is fucking excellent thrash. As I said, we don't have a lot of great thrash bands in Norway. There are some young guys now that have, you know, the right feeling in their music. And the Fusa metal scene emblem. Yeah, you could put them a little bit towards Necromantion, but they are not as aggressive and vicious and so technical. But there still is a lot of... It's technicality here as well, but it's not near as wild as Necromantion, but just a killer old school sounding thrash with kind of the modern good production and great vocals as well, and great drumming. I mean, everything here is excellent. This is a fucking 9.5 out of 10 album, and I'm really happy to have a cool Norwegian thrash metal album on the top of the thrash heavy metal speed metal list for this year. And yeah, I think I've talked enough. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you go and check out Venus from Greece, and I will link all these albums up below in the order I showed it, so you can go and check them out. Thanks as always for watching. Be shortest.